Hello everybody and welcome back to On the Creek. So it's been kind of a long day today. I'm installing this Lowrance FS Elite on the bow of my Tracker Pro V175. So the last video I showed you how to run the power and put a fuse block in. So I'd suggest you checking out the previous video and I'll have it here if you haven't seen it yet. But today we're installing the FS. So no more delay. Let's get this boy started. Alright guys, so I'm going to start off by saying I am no expert by any means. However, I have previously installed my Lowrance TI2 in my 16.5 foot, and then I also moved it and put it in this one at the console. And both times I've actually gotten very good sonar return. I can get return at high speeds. I do have problems on this boat because where the transducer has to be on the back of the boat is really close to the motor, so once I really get cruising, I get a lot of interference and I don't get a super clear side scan picture, which I could fix if I were to move my transducer further to the right, and I may do that one day. But for the most part, I'm not cruising at 35 miles an hour. I fish a lot of shallower water. There's a lot of shallower areas, so it works, and I haven't really felt the need to change it. So we're looking at the Elite FS today. We're going to be putting it on the bow. So this is going to be my bow unit. It's going to control my active target, which is coming. I don't have it yet, so there's going to be a video on active target install onto this unit after this one. But basically we're going to be looking to essentially put this unit on the bow. Now I installed an XI5 that has a deucer already, so I've got hopefully I have the parts to connect that deucer to this, so we're going to use that as well. Plus it'll run the active target. Now on my bow I have an Elite TI2, so we're also going to hook it to my NEMA network, and we're going to see if I can share waypoints that way. It's not very clear, and I haven't seen a lot of information about whether or not these units will talk, even though they're older models. I don't think it will. I know this uses Ethernet, and that one uses just NEMA. So, but we're going to hook it up NEMA and see if maybe we can share waypoints and stuff. At the very least, we're going to see what we can get them to do talking together. But open it up. You know, the packaging is pretty good. It came in pretty good condition here. Here's the unit. It has a GPS on top. It's in plastic. It also comes with the screen cover. So, and I mean, you're seeing this when I see this. I have not opened the box yet, so this is the first time I opened it. Now, it's definitely a little different than my TI2. Oh man, it doesn't want to come off of there. There it goes. So there we go. There's your screen. So we're going to leave that on for now. It came with, oh wow, I like the owner's manual. Is really nice. So that's going to go in with me. I will be reading through that. Power cable. And, oh, it's a little dirty. Lowrance, what are we doing? Why are you sending me dirty pieces? Let it sit out in the dust. It's fine. It's fine. So then I have my housing and my screws. What is in here? it's been a minute since I've opened anything from Lowrance because it was a long time ago when I bought my TI2. Okay, so these are some screws. So I'm going to be very careful not to lose those. Those will go back in the box. If those are screws, then this is screws. Ooh, we have a fused wire, right? And a purple 3 fuse. And some odds and ends, some screws, some terminators, and a fuse. But we're actually going to hook this to the fuse block that I installed. So we're going to do it that way. All right, guys. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install the power cable. So all I need to do is get the right crimp fittings on here, and I'm going to keep the yellow wire because the yellow wire has to do with it's the wake-up wire for your auxiliary unit. So I am putting an auxiliary unit on this, so I'm going to keep that way it is. Normally I would cut it off, but I'm going to keep it. So let me get what I need, and we'll move to the bow of the boat, and we will install the power wire first. Hi guys, we're going to take a pause from today's video and talk about one of the 3 certainties in life. If you're an outdoorsman like me, you know that the 3 certainties in life are death, taxes, and this hobby is expensive. I try and save money any way I can, and one of the ways that I save money is the Upside app. I use it to get cash back on fuel purchases that I'm going to make anyway. And it's really simple and easy to use. If you take a look at this screenshot that I just threw up, you can see that I earn real money, right? I've actually earned real money, and it's really simple to use. All I have to do is open the app, select the fuel station that I want to use, link a card that I'm going to use to fuel up, use that card and fuel, and then claim my rebate. After that, Upside does all the work. They go get your cash rebate and load it back onto your account where you can cash it in and redeem it for either cash back to your card or gift cards that they list below. If you haven't used it, if you don't use Upside to save money, then you're crazy. So follow the link below or download the Upside app and use my code, and we'll be able to both save a little bit of extra money on that first purchase. So thanks for watching, guys, and let's get back into the action here. Okay, guys, so what I'm going to be putting on here is these marine grade heat shrink 16 to 22 rings. Let's see. See that? It's a ring. And it's super simple to do. Got our power cable, and we've got red, black, and yellow. The yellow we'll deal with later. So I've got a pair of strippers, right? And all I'm going to do is take this, place it on there. Now for marine grade, you want the heat shrink ones, marine grade ones. You want ones that are going to shrink down, right? And then I'll just put it in the crimping part of these. I'll give it a good squeeze. Make sure it's on there good. And then I'm going to give it a really good squeeze. Make sure I have it locked in there tight, because I don't want this to get loose when I'm trying to fish. It's not going to be something I can fix easy on the water. And I'm going to do the same thing with the black one. So let's get you a better view. What we're going to do is we're going to insert that like that. Let's get that to focus. And then we're just going to put a good crimp on it with it tight. And then we're going to crimp it again to make sure we get it. So that's all there is to it. And then to shrink these down, you can use a heat gun. I'm just going to use a lighter. We're going to get this good and shrunk down so it's nice and watertight. you know, it's going to be on the bow, so you very well could take a wave on the bow. And there you have it. Nice and shrunken down. Nice and sealed. Oh, a little bit there for good measure. So there we have it. Now it's literally just a matter of unscrewing the appropriate screw in the fuse block and putting the appropriate wire in the appropriate place, and then putting the fuse in and checking to make sure there's power. So we're going to do that now, and I'm going to set you so hopefully you can see. We're going to try. All right, before we go up to the bow, I'm going to mount this piece to this piece. I bought it on Amazon. It's by Wind RD, Wind and Freedom. It's aluminum, and it's compatible with this mount. It actually lines up perfectly, and it came with the hardware I needed. So I'm going to throw this on, and then up there we'll put the electrical wires in the fuse panel. We'll hook up the NEMA 2000. We will hook up the transducer and everything. So the transducer is always already on the trolling motor. So that came with one. It's built in. So I'm going to throw screws in this, and then we'll go up to the bow, or the nuts and bolts. So give me a second. It went on there beautifully. So that's gonna be really nice, I think. So I think at this point we need to go to the bow for everything. So I'm gonna move up there. I need a new ball. Well, that happens sometimes. So I'm gonna have to go and find a mount that's compatible with that size ball. But that's what we're gonna do. So I'm not gonna put this on for now, and we'll figure that part out. But I can hook up everything else. So we'll put that mount part on hold. You know, I should have known that's a bigger ball, and I guess I wasn't paying attention, but I like this, so I am going to find one that will take the larger ball, and we'll go from there. So I'll just order another piece. I want something kind of tall. I want it to come up some and be able to flex out some. So I'm going to look online and find something that works. So, but that's okay. We're going to hook up everything else. So the next thing we're going to hook up is the NEMA network, because it's actually right here in my hand. So in order to add this to NEMA, I have my jumper line that goes to under the console. I have a T. I have a drop line. Your drop line always goes to like your technology. So it's your fish finder. It's going to your trolling motor. It always goes at the top of the T. And then I have my terminator. So in order to connect my dropper on, which is my droppers right here, I need another T. So what we're going to do is we are going to add this T on here. All I need to do is super simple, is take my terminator off, hook in my T, now my terminator will go on the end of the T, and then I will hook in my drop line. And then this would hook up to the fish finder. So that's good to go. And then while I'm down here and we're talking about it, I am going to hook up my deucer. So this trolling motor is a Motor Guide XI5 with pinpoint GPS. And it has a built-in deucer. And I'm going to use it for my bow mount, my bow unit. All right, this is the deucer that I'm going to use. The problem is this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pin, and it doesn't work with the other black connector. So I had to get a jumper cable. So this should hook into here. Like so. And then this will hook up to my fish finder. And I should be able to use the transducer on the bottom of the trolling motor. Now for the part that I've been dreading because I got to lay on here, we're going to hook in the power cord for the fish finder. Okay, so this part should really be straightforward. So we've got our fuse block in there, and we're going to pick where this is going to go. And I'm thinking right here on the top. So we're going to put our fuse in. And then we are going to check and make sure that everything works. So I'm going to hook onto the negative. And we're going to check the fuse. It works. And we're going to check, make sure that the terminal is hot, which it is. So our fuse is now providing power to that spot. So next thing we need, now we want to be really careful because if we drop screw down there, it's a black hole. Absolute utter black hole. It'll be gone. We will never see it again. And I'll be very sad. So I'm going to use my fingers to make sure I don't lose it. Get it going in there. So that's the negative bus bar. And the negative bus bar goes on there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the positive. And again, I'm going to be very careful. Matter of fact, we're going to take the fuse out. But I'm going to be very careful not to lose it. And she works. So now we're going to put this cover back on it. Cover goes like that. But we want it to say what it is. And although I don't see one that says fish finder, I do see one that says GPS, so I might use that one. Let's see. On it goes. There we go. So now we have a fused circuit up here for all of our electronics. Anything else I might want to add, straight from the cranking battery. So now all we got to do is hook that thing up and test it. And I'm kind of bummed I don't have a mount to put it on, but we're going to give it the old test anyway and make sure that everything works. So I'm going to sit back up and plug all the wires into it and make sure that she turns on and does what it's supposed to do. So bear with me. Whew. Man, I'm getting tired on the day. And I still gotta go find a mount that's gonna work for this thing. So let's see here. Okay, so we're gonna hook everything up here just to make sure that it all works, in case I need to deal with any issues. So the first thing I'm gonna hook is the power cord goes to the red. The next thing I'm gonna hook up is gonna be the NEMA cable, and that goes in the NEMA port on the back. So these are slotted, so they only really go on one way. And the next part I'm not super sure of because I've never done it before, but we're gonna make sure that this deucer port works. So, moment of truth, guys. It does seem to have worked. All right, so it gave me some problems. I had to shut the filming off and figure this out. But the problems were just I forgot how to link my phone up, and it's new and different. So she's working. I haven't tested the sonar because I've got the batteries disconnected from when I ran all the power, and I'm gonna have to do that some more when the live target comes. So I'm not gonna mess with that, but I was able to figure out how to sync all of my waypoints and my trails from my TI2 on the bow, on the console to the bow now, so I'll be able to see all that when I'm up here fishing. So I did go online and order a new mount. It's going to be here tomorrow, so I will throw that here. I'm tired. I'm not even cleaning up the mess yet, but I'm gonna call it a night for now. When the mount comes in, I will show you how I mounted that, and we'll get this mounted to the bow, and then we'll be waiting for the live target to show up to connect that part as well. So, but everything seems to work. I'm gonna tinker with this for a minute and get it set up. I got it hooked up for the most part, I think, the way I want. I just got to get some of my settings to show correctly. So we'll go from there. But I'll see when I get the mount. Okay, guys, crisis averted. So Amazon overnight delivery came in clutch. And I was able to pick this Ram style mount up with the correct ball size. So it's a 1.5 inch ball. And the one that I was going to use was a 2-piece, which I kind of liked the fact I could adjust it in 2 ways, but it worked off a 1 inch ball, so not the right size. But this came with 2, so I can move it around. I could probably mount one down here or up there. The first one we mount is going to be right here, so I'm thinking that is going to be the best location for it is right there, and we'll start with that, and I'll have a second ball that I can mount somewhere on the deck if I want, if I find that I want it closer. I have plenty of slack here to make that happen, but we're going to see. So we're going to start there, and this part here just kind of screws on there, and we're going to connect it with number 10 stainless steel screws, pan head, and as long as they fit, I guess I should check that. And they do. So number 10 stainless. I could get away with a 1 inch, but we're going to use like 1 1/3 because that's what I have. So I have like 2 1-inchers, and that's not going to be enough. I want this on there sturdy as can be. So we're going to use them. And we're also going to drill because a number 10 stainless steel screw is a bit beefy. So we're going to drill the holes out. Alright, so where do I want this to sit? So I'm just trying to decide like the best way to get the most bite. So we'll put 2 in, and then once our first 2 are in, we will screw in the others. I got 4 screws in there. I ain't going nowhere. Okay, so the next part of this deal is going to be, man, I nicked the rubber on that ball. That is what it is to be putting this mount on there. So I went with a longer arm on this ram style mount. It's I think it said 9 inches. I did that on purpose. So I want to be able to bring it up like this, or down like this. So I'm not sure exactly what orientation at this point will be best. Which one I'll like the best. I might even get like a ball to ball adapter and get another piece that potentially can go up. Get it closer to me. We'll see. So that's going to be good for now. Now we have to throw this boy on there. They put a sticker on this knob. I don't like that. Now I have a ton of cables here, but I'm going to do cable management once I get the rest of it done. So we will figure that out later on. But yeah, sounds good. So there we go. Fish finder's mounted. And because I had to wait for this to show up, this mount to show up, I did get it all set up. But I took my waypoints off my TI2. I put it here. I set up my Neewer network. I made it so that if I set a waypoint here, it goes to there. If I set there, it goes to here. It records the trails the same. And I got everything working. So I think that's it for today's video. This is the second part. The next part will be, let's see here. I have active target coming. So that is the next part. So once the active target gets here, I'll be setting up the active target. I'll be running cables for that. I'll be cable managing this unit and putting everything back together. So boat's still kind of a mess. This isn't the only project I was working on. If you've seen the first video, I ran a fuse block. Then I did this. Then I'll do active target when it gets here. I expect it to be delivered here within a week. Although I was tracking it at the post office and it said it should be here tomorrow, the next day. But it wasn't one of those overnight 2-day guaranteed, nothing. It was just a good price and I bought it and shipped it. So I also have to put my trolling motor batteries back together because I moved those out of the way to run all of my electronics. So yeah, that's it for today's video. So thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully you guys are getting your boats ready to go for this this year. And that'll be it for me today, guys. Get out there and live. Catch you next time at On a Creek.
Another catfish.